Let us look at another group of words and their position in a sentence. And the words are still, yet, anymore, any longer, no longer. Now, still is a very tricky word. It is used to say, the word still is used to say that a situation or action is continuing. Still is usually used in the middle of a sentence with the verb. Example, it's 11 p.m. and Sarah is still working. Mind you, it comes in the middle. Are you still living in the same neighborhood or locality, or have you moved? Again, look at the position of the word still. Third example, do you still want to go to the post office, or have you changed your mind? Now, as I said earlier, still is used to say that a situation or action is continuing. For instance, 11 p.m. and Sarah is still working. The action of working continues. In the same way, do you still want to go to the post office, or have you changed your mind? Right? In the same way, the word yet. Yet is also a problem for learners of English, especially foreign learners of English. And yet is used to ask if something has happened, or when we say that something has not happened. Yet is used mainly in questions and negative sentences. And it is usually found at the end of the sentence. A few examples to illustrate what I have said. Have you finished packing? Have you finished packing that suitcase yet? Mind you, look at the position of yet. It's at the end of the sentence. Have you finished packing that suitcase yet? It's 11 o'clock and the typist hasn't arrived yet. That is the correct position of the word yet, at the end of the sentence. And then, we are hungry. Is dinner ready yet? We are hungry. Is the lunch ready yet? Yet usually comes at the end of the sentence. Now, remember that yet is often used with the present perfect. Have you finished washing that dress yet? Again, the position of yet remains the same. It comes at the end of the sentence, but it can also be used with the present perfect. Now, I would like you to compare the words yet and still and their position in a number of sentences. The first one is, my brother lost his job last year and he is still unemployed. Notice, is still unemployed. Comes after the verb is. Look at the second one. My brother lost his job a year ago and hasn't found another job yet. Notice yet is again at the end of the sentence. Another example. Is it still raining? Has it stopped raining yet? Now, still is possible in negative sentences. For example, she said she would be here half an hour ago and she still hasn't come. She said she would be here half an hour ago and she still hasn't come. Now, over there, she still hasn't come, it shows a stronger feeling of impatience, as can be seen from the following sentences. When you say, she hasn't called me yet, you mean it is implied, but I expect she will soon. But when you say, she still hasn't called me, there is the implication that she should have called by now. So still shows a stronger impatience on the part of the speaker. Now let us look at words, phrases like not anymore, not any longer, and no longer. And we find that they are used to say that a situation has changed. And any more, any longer, they come at the end of a sentence. Example, Miss Mir doesn't work here anymore or any longer. Both are correct, but their position in the sentence is at the end. Another example, they were great friends, but they aren't friends anymore. Or they were great friends once, but they aren't friends any longer. The position of any more and any longer is at the end of the sentence. But no longer can come in the middle of the sentence. For instance, they are no longer friends. He no longer lives with her. Fine, but no more cannot be used in this way. You can have, he is no longer our employee. That would be a correct sentence. He is no longer our employee, but not, he is no more our employee. Right? A short practice so that you know how these words are used. A number of sentences are given you, and you change them using still and not anymore. Tony used to have long hair and a beard. You change that sentence using the word still, right? And the hint, there is a hint given you. Begin with still, long hair, and then continue. You can write, Tony still has long hair, but he doesn't have a beard anymore. Right? The negative, not anymore, but anymore comes at the end of the sentence. Another example. Teddy used to play tennis and football. Teddy used to play tennis and football. And change that sentence using still. So you would say, Teddy still plays tennis, but he doesn't play football anymore. Again, the negative, doesn't play football anymore. Third sentence. Mother was in hospital and she was in critical condition. Now, the British do not use the word the with hospital. So that is a British construction. Mother was in hospital. The Americans say mother was in the hospital. So both are correct. We don't have to fight about that. Mother was in hospital. You change that sentence and you can say mother is still in hospital, but she isn't in critical condition anymore. Right? Sentence number 4. I used to like Kathy and Karen. Change it and you can say, I still like Kathy, but not Karen anymore. Or you can change the either way. You can say, I still like Karen and not Kathy. Number 5. He was a good batsman and he was the best in the team. Change this and you can have, he is still a good batsman, but isn't the best in the team anymore. And number 6, I was feeling depressed and homesick. You can change this by saying, I'm still feeling depressed, but not homesick anymore.